So this is a video about my dream life and ultimately yours also, because I'll be speaking about what it is to build on your dream life. Like, what is your dream life? Because honestly, a lot of people don't know what their actual, true, aligned dream life is, because we have been conditioned by society and by movies to think that our dream is one thing and that we're supposed to be wanting this thing, and then we spend our lives running after that when it's not truly what we want. And we have to do a lot of unconditioning and learning ourselves. So just like an example, the American dream. Okay, the American dream is like this flashy house with your trophy wife and this like corporate business, just to sum it up, you know. And then you have like, it's a lot attached on like the number of money you get, and a lot of people still to this day are chasing this American dream that was never theirs to belong to start with. And then they're chasing that their whole life, and some don't even realize that they're just unfulfilled and unhappy. Sometimes it takes a lot of time, and they're like, but I did everything I was supposed to. And some people along the line, they're like, oh, this doesn't work. But then what is it that I want? Because we were never taught to have a critical mind and to get to know ourselves. Like, the school system and society is not based for us to know what we want and build something tailored to our needs and to our gifts and to like express these gifts. It's tailored in a way that is beneficial for society and for capitalism and all that. Okay, so how does one figure out what is their dream life? So I feel like it's important to feel into it. Like, what does your dream life look like? What does your dream life feel like? And still, there might be some aspects of it that does not belong to you, because we have to get on a journey of exploration. We have to get to know ourselves, and that just happens over time. It happens with experiences. You try things, and sometimes before knowing what we want, we are gonna know what we don't want, and that's fine. We have to start somewhere, and sometimes what we know is like, oh, I do not want this type of relationship. I do not want to work a 9-to-5. Like, I know I don't want that. I don't know exactly what I want, but I know I don't want that, and that's a great start. And then you could explore, why don't I want this? Like, what aspects of it don't I want? And that could help you to figure out what aspects of you, like what are your needs and how your energy works, to figure out what it is you want. So I'll be talking a lot about me, about my dream life, and how I'm building it. And there's a lot of people doing this and talking about like, look at what I've created, I've got here, you could do it too. And for me, it's not exactly that, because I'm just starting. I'm just at the beginning, although I've started years ago on more of the like invisible plan, on the actually like taking action and fully committing to building my dream life. This is where I'm starting, like fully starting. And I'm talking more about my career in my case. But my career for me is closely attached to all other aspects of my life, because whatever I do as a job is what I'm spending a lot of time in, and it's gonna affect all the other spheres of my life. So for example, right now I'm working mostly like an employee job where I don't choose my schedule. I show up when they tell me to show up, and it influences everything else, because I put all my energy, and I don't have a lot of energy reserves, and I put all my energy in that, and then the rest of my life has to be built around the energy I have left. And often I'm just tired. Often it's also limiting, because I can't take opportunities if I want to go somewhere and I'm like, oh, I want to go there. I'm like, oh no, but I have work. I don't choose my schedule, you know? So, and for me, my dream life is also really attached to my career, because it's something I put importance in, and not in the way that society taught us to like identify with your career. But for me, my career is identified to me. in a way, and not yet, that's what I want to build. I want to build a career that is fully aligned to me and who I am as a person, that works for me and not I have to work for it. I want it to be so tied close to my values and to my truth that it's just an extension of me. And some people might figure out when they like explore their dream life that for them, they don't want to work, or like for them it's not important, the work aspect. Like they prefer being homestead and let's say taking care of their children, and for them like that's their dream life, like not having to work. Just like their work would be every day they wake up, they have their little garden, they take care of their kids, they don't have to like think about like creating something or working on something. For me it's a bit of a mix. Yeah, it is a mix, because I don't want my career to take up all of my time, and that's why I want to build something that allows me freedom. And that's important, freedom, because freedom is like the word success. We attach freedom or success, or society attach those words to money. Like being successful means you have a lot of money. Like if someone builds a company and earns 1 million, and they're, let's say I don't know how much amount of time, like the meters are different for everyone, earns 1 million, someone could look at that being like, oh, you're so successful. But then that person can feel like shit, you know? That person can feel like being like, yeah, I'm successful, and then inside of them there's a story that's like, no, I don't feel successful, I don't feel free, I feel stuck. And maybe like this voice is not even being heard because we're trying to like prove to ourselves, but I really don't attach success or freedom to money. And I believe, like in how I feel, it's like I do want to have a decent amount of money, which allows me this freedom to roam, to go to places I want, to buy some specific stuff that I want. Yes, I do want this type of freedom, but it's not going to be gained as like if I'm building my dream life, if my first priority is I want 100K, and then you start building from there, I don't think that that's the way. It's building what is aligned to me and what I want, how I want to show up in the world, the type, number of time, like do I want to do something in person? Do I want to have something local? Do I want to have something online? Like those aspects, how much hours I want to put in my day, like those aspects I feel are way more important than the money part. And the money part is gonna come from building something that is fully aligned with you. Like that's what I truly believe. And you could have financial goals, but it has to always mean that you're not misaligning yourself in these other aspects, because at the end of the day it won't do shit to have money if you're not happy. So freedom and success, you have to figure out, what does that mean for you? How does it feel like? What does freedom feel like? What does it mean? Like, what does it look like? Is it freedom like I can travel the world, I could go wherever I want? Or is it freedom like I can buy expensive food? Or is it freedom like I can stay at home all day and not work and take the days I want off, and then take like a week off if I want a week off because I'm tired or whatever. Like, what does freedom look like, and how does it feel like? How do you feel when you're free? Like, tune into that feeling of like for me, I'm gonna feel light. I'll feel my life force energy. Like, I'll feel alive. I'll feel like I can respect my needs, where I can, if I feel tired or like whatever state I'm in, for me freedom is to have a life that can be tailored to my phases, my cycles, and my energy. What success feels like is for me doing something that is fully aligned with my truth. Like career-wise, some people might be fine with like being self-employed, but doing something that they're not like they can be passionate about it, but it's not like aligned with their values on like how they live their life. For me, I don't know if I'm clear right now. For me, like, because let's say I have like I put a lot of importance on personal growth, on spirituality, on connecting to like my divine essence and to my truth, and on like healing. I do so much healing and shadow work, and I feel like for me, success within my career is that this career is fully in alignment with this aspect of myself. I want to be of service, and for me, like my career has to be around that. Like let's say I find a self-employed project and every other component is aligned, but that aspect is not aligned. Like it's not aligned with my truth and my passion around personal growth and being of service. I'm not gonna feel fulfilled, and I'm gonna get bored really quickly, and I won't feel inspired, and overall it's just gonna end up draining my life force energy. And I know that because I've done it. I know what I like. The fact that I know exactly where I'm going at this point in my life, and I'm so certain that it's gonna work. I know it's gonna work because I've had so much trial and error before, and I've got to know myself to a level where I'm like, I know that this is how it has to be now for me to feel good. And I know by that following what is aligned with me, you can't fail. You could learn stuff and be like, okay, maybe I don't want a career that's so fixed that I can't move it around and change components of it throughout my lifetime, because I'll continue changing, and there might be some stuff that I'm like, oh, you know, I thought I wanted to do like online stuff, but I don't actually like it. It's okay that I adapt things, but as long as I'm always checking in with myself, and that I'm always, every time I show up into something, it's because it's truly aligned and I truly like tuned in to know that this is how I want to show up. Like I can't fail. I can't. And in the past, the reasons I failed is because I let fear, I let my limiting beliefs, my self-like constraints sometimes lead the way. And I sometimes, right now, as I'm building what I see, and I'll talk about a bit more of my vision and how I'm building it very soon. But sometimes I notice that there's a part of me that is thinking too much ahead of time and trying to plan everything out and thinking about, because I have so much ideas, like that's really not what's missing. It's like often taking action and starting where I'm at and not being perfect right from the start. Like it's okay that I'm not perfect. And sometimes I find myself trying to think too much ahead and having this huge picture, and it's kind of big and discouraging, because like that's not where I'm at, and it could be overwhelming. And I know that aspect of me comes from fear, because I've done that in the past. In 2022, I tried to go self-employed, and I tried to go too quickly because I was scared, because I was missing out on money. And I ended up realizing that I was building something out of fear, and I took a big step back because I didn't know what was aligned with me anymore, and I wanted to really feel into what do I truly want to do and how do I truly want to show up. It took 2 years and now I do know, but every time those thoughts come of like pressuring me, and sometimes I feel that I'm more anxious or have more trouble sleeping because I'm overthinking about like what I need to do next. Well, that's a clear indication that it's fear that's speaking to me, and it's the fear of lack, because I'm scared of not having enough money. Because after this job, I'm finishing this job that I'm doing right now in 2 weeks, and after I told myself I'm not working anymore as an employee. Like I'm going full on these projects. I might do some little gigs here and there of other stuff if I need some money or whatever, but there's still a fear in the back of my mind of like, what if it doesn't work? And there's a lot of surrender. I need to surrender, and I need to check in with myself and bring myself back every time I look too much ahead of time, because it's coming from that fear of lack and a fear of failure. What if it doesn't work? So I try to make everything, think ahead of time and think about everything to make sure that it works and to be perfect right from the start. And that's, I do know that like I'm not gonna build my career out of fear. I'm gonna build it out of inspiration and out of alignment. And this channel is the beginning of, like, it's the first video you watch, like on my first video of this channel, I explain like why I started this channel. It was really to harness my voice and to like, it's like my entry point into building the dream life, the life of my dreams. So like in the last 2 weeks, I didn't post anything because I did not feel inspired. And a part of me was like, even if I had time off of work and I could have had time to post, like to film a video, I didn't feel inspired. And sometimes I was trying to like kind of bully myself to do it. I was like, oh, just do a video, like find something, like show up. And then I was like, no, but right now I'm in gestation. Like I feel like I'm more in a period of addressing stuff inwardly, and I was getting a lot of triggers of stuff around me, and I was like, this is how you want to build your dream life and your career. Like you want to have something that is sustainable, and I don't feel like I need to be consistent because that's just not how I work. I'll be consistent in my inconsistency, but I'll be consistent in making something sustainable for me and following that. And that's why I say like my way is a bit unconventional. My way is a bit unconventional. Actually, I don't even know if I said it in this video, but like how I'm building this career of mine is in an unconventional way, although a lot of people are taking these unconventional paths, and you see it a lot online where people are sharing like different ways of living, and that's actually what motivates me or shows me that it's possible for me. And that's also why I'm doing a video, to also share like, hey, it's possible for me, it's possible for you. Although I'm not following someone else's unconventional way. I need to follow something that is fully tailored to me, and that's why like the way I'm doing it is going to be very, very unique to me. And I believe that despite how life, society, this culture let us believe that there's only one way to success and you have to follow that guide step by step, I don't believe that. So that being said, let me talk about my dream life. Okay, so I mentioned it a bit, but my energy, my energetic makeup is different than a lot of people. There's a lot of people that are going to resonate with what I'm going to say, but there's other people that don't resonate with that. I have low energy reserves. Even if I'm in a place where I'm thriving in my life, where I'm like eating the good food, where I'm working out and I'm having a really healthy lifestyle, even though I'm gonna have a short amount of energy reserves and I'm gonna have to rest a lot. Although sometimes that, like if my lifestyle is not aligned, so I'm like eating a lot of junk food and doing stuff like not sleeping a lot or stuff like that, like for sure my energy is going to be even more drained. So if you're like me and you don't have much energy levels, I do encourage to align other aspects of your life so you're gonna be in the full potential of your energy. Yet even when I'm in the full potential of my energy, it works in a particular way, and I came to notice what drains my energy. So there is a lot of energy leakages when I'm doing stuff that are not aligned with me, or when I'm doing robotic work, or when I feel stressed. And so my dream life is built mainly around my energy levels. And how I function is, first of all, I can't do more than 5 hours straight of work. And once in a while, there's moments where I'm able to do it because I'm feeling super inspired and super focused. You know, when you're like in that zone and you're just like, oh my God. There's moments where I was editing videos on my last channel and I would do it for like 12 hours straight, and I was just so focused and so like I didn't want to stop. But at the end of the 12 hours, I was definitely like really drained, and I was like, maybe this is not healthy, I should have taken some breaks. But I do know when I'm doing something I'm passionate about, I do have more energy, but I still have to be careful because it's easy for me to put too much into it and then I feel so drained that I need to take a long break. So I want to build a career and a life where the time I put into these projects are between 2 and 5 hours a day, and that I can have the luxury of taking the breaks, taking naps, that I want within my day, within my week, and within my month. So there's some weeks where I'm going to be showing up more on the outside, like taking action, making content, advancing on my projects, and whatever like I haven't planned as projects, I'll be able to do it outwardly. And there's other weeks where I'll be more into a retrieving mode. I'll be more into a tuning in, doing self-care, and following that, you know. So how I'm gonna create my career is, first of all, evergreen content is really important for me. Evergreen content is content that can always be found throughout time. So YouTube is evergreen content because you can type in how to build your dream life in 4 years and fall on my video of now. So that's evergreen content. It's content that stays forever in a way that could always be searchable, and that's the type of content or marketing that works best for me, because it means that if I'm taking some time off, there could still be some traffic happening and there could still be some advancement. I don't need to always market myself. Whereas like TikTok is right now, you have to do videos every day, and then you show up every day, and if you stop showing up, the results are gonna stop coming in, like to some extent. Sometimes like something could show up like a week later or here and there, like Instagram too, but it's not searchable content. It's content you have to show up continuously. Other like evergreen or content that's more passive can be like ads. I won't be doing that at the moment, but maybe sometime, doing like online ads where it's like just always showing up whether I'm on work or off of work. Now I'm talking about online stuff just because that's the way I want to be sharing a lot of content around like my truth. And for me, I really like doing videos like this and sharing. But it could be anything else. I'm really explaining me. Also, passive income is something I want, but I don't want it to be only passive income, but because it's really important for me to connect in real time with people, and I don't want to do too much online stuff, but it depends. So passive income in a way where, let's say I create a project, let's say we're going to take an example of a course. That it's not in my plan to make a course right now. I'm actually working on a specific project that I have in mind that's going to be my first thing I'm putting out, more as like passive income. Also, YouTube can become passive income if I get monetized. So that could be something that's semi-passive and active, because by putting videos I could get some income, and by not putting videos I could still get a bit of income, you know. So passive income, I'm building something, let's say a course that is a course that I already pre-filmed and people could buy. So whatever they find my video, it's in like, and I say like, oh, and by the way, if you want to learn a course on how to build your dream life, go in the comments. I'm really not good at this. And then people are gonna be like going on my comments, and it could be happening while I'm sleeping. So it's passive income. And then I do want to have more active income because, as I said, I really like connecting with people. I will be doing some stuff online just because of the lifestyle I'm living right now. I'm traveling at the moment, and I plan on traveling for the next year or two. So I can't only have like in-person stuff, and I wouldn't want to have only in-person stuff because I don't want to have to show up, let's say, every week to an in-person thing. I find it's too restricting, and maybe in the future it's going to be something that's going to change because my life is going to be changing, and maybe I'll have kids, maybe I'll install myself somewhere. That's something I want because stability is really important to me. Yet for now, that's not what I want. That I'm in an exploration mode. That's the phase I'm in. And so I want so online is for sure easier for that. So I will like be offering some like active in-person online stuff, not in-person online, but you know what I mean, where it's like, let's say oh, come join my masterclass. I don't plan on doing a masterclass, but you know what I mean. I feel like what I did not mention, and it's kind of important, is that in those active things, I will not do them right now because I will wait to have more people that know me and that resonate with my message, because I hate marketing. And I tried it in the past, and having to prove to people to come to my stuff and having a time limit, like a time pressure of like, oh, I have a masterclass next week and I need people to show up. It puts so much pressure on me, and I did it in the past and it was so heavy that I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do it like that. Yes, I will wait to be recognized before putting stuff like out there that are more like, I need participants now. For now, that's why I'm more aiming on something passive, which it doesn't matter if people buy or it doesn't buy in X number of time. And in the stuff I want to do in person, I 100 will be doing retreats in the future. I already did retreats in 2022 and I so loved it. That's something I really remained from 2022 and doing YouTube videos too. But I did 3 retreats. It was smaller retreats. It was in my home country. I really loved it. It gave me so much life force energy. Like, I was so alive. I love doing in-person, offering in-person things. So that's definitely something I'll be putting forward in the near future. And what I love of retreats is that it's a one-time thing. It's not ongoing. I could choose when I do it, the dates, and it's a beautiful project. And for me participating in retreats, like, I loved my experience. It gave me lifelong friends. It made me meet people that were in the same space as me. It was so transformative, and that's why I also want to offer this kind of service. And that's for sure something I'll be doing. Like, that's a like non-negotiable, but not now. I need to know which cycle I'm in, and now is not the moment. As much as doing active content, like active services, now is not the moment. Maybe in a few months, maybe, I don't know when, but I'll know when the right time has happened, you know? I just don't want to have that pressure of having to market myself. That's not, and this is going against all mainstream ideas of building a business. You have to market yourself. This is not, I'm gonna market myself by sharing myself like I'm doing right now. That's my way. I'm not gonna market myself by being like, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. It doesn't work. It's not me. And that's why it's so important to know. And I truly believe that it's gonna work way better like this, because I'll be showing up in an authentic way, and people feel that. People feel it when you're forcing yourself, like, buy my product, and it's coming from fear of like, please buy my product. Like, people don't want to buy from you. You know, but if it's coming from like, you know, I guess you get it. Anyways, that was my side note. So in the pursuit of my dream life, I'm really taking a lot of time to question myself, because I have so much ideas and there's so much stuff that I want to do, and I always have to check in, and I always have to be like, is this fully aligned, and is this the message you want to put out? Oh, so like, I do want to do content, for example, on Instagram, but I don't know yet how I want to show up. I don't know yet. There's a confusion. There's a fear too, a fear of being rejected by sharing X content. There's also like the limitation of short form content. I do want to share some stuff on there, but I don't know yet exactly what is fully aligned, and I might do trial and error once again. But for that reason, I'm not focusing too much on that. I'm focusing on the stuff that I know and that is a sure thing, and I'm always bringing myself back to the present moment. Every time I'm thinking too much ahead of time, I'm like, okay, now, in what phase are you? It's important to know where you are, in what phase are you. Right now, I'm in the phase of releasing all my blockages, of being a living, breathing, walking expression of my truth. Becoming that, like being aligned not only in my projects, but in my life. I'm realizing how they are closely tightly knitted, and as soon as I'm not aligned in my everyday life, the whole project thing starts becoming confusing. Like, I start like doubting, and I start being like, oh, is this really what I want? And then, but as soon as I recenter myself, I cut the distractions, I cut the outer noise, and I connect to myself, it becomes clear again. So I do notice, like, when I'm scrolling a lot and I'm checking a lot of content of other people, and it starts becoming like I absorb this kind of information and I don't know what belongs to me anymore. And I feel like the more I'm going to move on my path, the more I'll be so anchored that I'm going to be less affected by the energy around, and I'll absorb less because I'll be like more within. But I do know that having centering practices is essential for me and for a lot of people. I know I absorb a lot of stuff around. Maybe some people absorb less, yet we all do to some degree. We are all conditioned. We all, like, since we're born, okay? And with social media, with all this information that keeps on coming in, it's easy to not know what belongs to us. Like, it could be easy for you to listen to this video and be like, oh, me too, I want to do evergreen content and stuff like that. And maybe it's not fully aligned with you. Maybe that's not how you function for real, you know? So it's really important to have more quiet time, less distractions. It's really a process, because anyways, that would be a video for another time. But sometimes the reasons why we distract ourselves is because we're running away from aspects of ourselves. So there's a lot of healing components into that, and sometimes that's why it's so hard to choose our dream life and our career path, because there's all this noise around, like, our fears and our traumas and the things we believe. And but overall, you have to find your way, and there's no wrong way. Like, this is your life, this is your path, and there's no limitations in the way that everything is available to you and everything is possible for you within, like, yes, this material physical life. Like, maybe it's not possible for you to grow wings and fly in the sky, but we have access to so much more than what we let ourselves believe and what society let us believe, and we can create abundance for ourselves. I truly believe that what I'm doing right now is gonna work. It's already working. It's already working. Like, I have no doubt, and that is what is gonna give me the energy and the motivation to continue when there's challenges, because it's not always gonna go in a straight line. Maybe it could take time for me to get seen and from other people. Maybe I'll create the project and then no one is gonna buy it. There could be stuff like that, but that's why also I'm moving away from trying to be perfect, and I'm a human here. I'm learning as I go, and I'm also building a business that I'm gonna be able to modify and adapt things to it and change it over time and build on it over time. That's why I'm going to focus on one thing at a time, and once that thing is more perfected, then I can move on. There's no rush, and that's also what society is like. Hurry up, always that fast pace, that like rat race, and like always going and going and going. I'm like, no, I want a slow life. I don't want to live a life in rush and with pressure, like, and even if I try, it doesn't work. So yeah, and by doing these centering practices in the last 2 months, so yeah, it's been 2 months, I've been really harnessing all of this within me, and that's what is preparing me. I started to find out what is my message, because even that, I'm like, what's my message? What is like my core message from like the business I'm building? And it was not clear, and then I was trying to figure it out. I was like, let it go, surrender is a huge part for me. Surrender. And then it came to me. I was like, oh yes. For me, I realized that the main theme is intimacy with self. And for that, like, that's like the core, but there's so much aspects around it, and it's not limiting because it's the main thing I've been doing in the last decade. Everything I've been doing with myself and all the healing, and it's all about, I was building an intimate, deep relationship with myself, and from there I healed so much layers. From there I created union within. From there I got to know myself. From there I enhanced my intuition. From there I started feeling more wholeness. I started feeling better, like in my human experience. I started having better relationships outside of me. I started being able to take leaps of faith, like, oh, I moved to Australia. I left all my stuff from Canada and I moved to Australia. Like, I was able to do that from the intimacy that I've built, and this is what I want to be offering. I want to offer people the permission to start or deepen their relationship with themselves, because I feel like that's the core of everything. Like the way you perceive life and the way you feel, and the healing of the collective starts from the self. So that's my main message. Anyways, I've said enough, and eventually I'll do a part 2 of this video to talk about how things have been moving. I want to be as transparent as possible on here and show the process more than just the result. And there's never going to be a finished result. It's always ongoing, and I always have to bring myself back to the present and be like, this is part of the journey. It's not where you're going, it's where you are now. And this is it. So I get to appreciate more my present moment. But that too is a process. Yeah. Oh, I also wrote free as a bird. That's how I want to feel. I want to feel free as a bird. You know, birds could just fly wherever they want. It could be on the ground, it could be in the sky. I want to feel free as a bird, and I want to be a breath of fresh air. That is the energy I want to bring out. Being a breath of fresh air for the people that fall on, that find me. You know, the people that are interested in my content. I want them to feel like this is a breath of fresh air, like compared to everything that was fed to them. That's what I want to bring out. So yeah, don't hesitate to let me know in the comments what you think, and to let me know also, like, what does it feel like for you, success? What does freedom feel for you? I'd be really interested to read more about that, and take care.